Hi, welcome to Versus, where we watch 2 TV shows so you don't have to. Today we have...
Versus!
Cyberpunk.
Joe, have you played Cyberpunk?
Martinez.
Have you played Cyberpunk?
Have you?
No.
I have.
I've not
completed it. It's very, very good.
I didn't start it because it was like, it's not ready yet.
It's
Even
ready
though
now.
we've all got it, it's not ready yet,
It's
and I never played it.
I didn't complete it. I got right to the end part, and then for whatever reason, I just stopped playing it because it was still a bit buggy. This was ages ago. But I know there's a big DLC with Idris Elba in this that's going to add loads of new shit to it. So my thing
is that coming out now?
So very soon.
Right, okay.
So my thing is once
not ready yet.
Once that's out, because I don't want to start it now and then that drops in like a month. I'm like, fucking hell, again. When this came out, more people playing Cyberpunk because of this show than when it was released.
Yeah, you see, the thing
and it made me want to play it.
The thing is with this, and I was also with both of these shows, I was sort of like, would I be enjoying this more if I'd have played Cyberpunk more? Probably.
But I know what you mean. But no, David Martinez, I feel like I'm terrible at remembering people's names, but in this they said his name quite a lot of times. So I was
you see, I didn't get the David bit. I only got Martinez.
Do you know what? I actually really enjoyed this.
I mean, yeah.
I've been looking at it for a bit on Netflix and going...
is it
It's like, shall I stick it on?
Yeah.
I just realised, sorry, that song is Franz Ferdinand. The Franz Ferdinand song.
Which one?
This fire, this bar's out of control, I'm gonna meow, 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 meow. So I was trying to remember I recognised a couple of tracks in it and I didn't Google any of them after.
See, that one that came about a lot, which was...
We will talk about the plot at some point, but not
quite
yet.
Just not quite yet.
We're just going to talk about...
We're breaking the formula today. No, the song that came on loads was that, like, got no money in my bank.
Yes,
and I've got
that came on a couple of times.
My bank said 0, 0, 0, 0, and I was like, oh, okay. Just mild to get sick of that song.
Yeah, I think it feels like they use it like 3 times.
They used it like 3 times, it was a lot.
When he's in the car, again, a part of the
Sorry.
plot, at one point he's in the car, there was a track that sounded like, I'm sure I've mentioned this fucking track before because it's so good, but Max Payne 3, the game that you can't buy on anything because of the song, there's a band called Health who do like kind of electro, I don't know, kind of noise rock.
Okay.
It sounded fucking really, really good, but I was like, oh, is this Health? But I actually really liked all the tunes throughout.
Yes.
Which is nice.
I think they had some really good tunes. So you just made me think about something else. When you said Max Payne, I just pictured that weird Max Payne head.
The face.
The face thing. And I always just think that I used to look like you.
No,
when I was a kid.
Sam Blake. Is Sam Blake?
Who's Sam Blake?
But
when I was a kid, obviously, you used to play Max Payne a lot.
I did.
So I think as a kid, I used to just mix them together.
Yeah. He's the developer of the game, and they had no money, so they just used his face. All the people in the game are just people who work at the studio.
Did they make a film out of Max Payne?
Yeah, it's called Mark Wahlberg. It's awful.
Oh yeah, that was it.
I hate that. But no, sorry,
Anyway,
Edgerunners, really good. It made me want to. Sorry, Dave Martinez. He's just. It was kind of quite predictable.
Why are you just calling it David Martinez?
Dave Martinez, the show Dave Martinez. I thought it was quite predictable, but I didn't really care.
What do you mean? What, the whole plot?
Just from the first episode, a kid at school getting a bit bullied, having a shit time, low on money. He's a single mum trying to work to make ends meet. Yeah. No one's got fucking healthcare. The whole episode was basically healthcare is needed.
And then also with the little bits of Ready Player One. So you pushed in there because Ready Player 2 is actually the book because they go into it a bit more, but you live through these people's experiences. Because they get like they upload their brain waves at their time, so you can feel the sensations, you can feel all the everything. So it's very similar to that. So I feel like that tech is quite similar to that. But also the whole bit felt a lot like that, like sort of like Downey's look, can't afford the new tech, has to make his own tech
and just
Ready
blows
Player One
everyone's
style.
Things.
But yeah, no, I quite it was very much like a lot of other high school anime that we've watched on this show. Like it was very much like it was quite ordinary in that way, but I think the animation and the way that it was all drawn was really quite cool.
Good. The fight at the start with that guy. I can't actually quite remember who, because in the game there's so it's like Cyber Psycho. The guy killing all the cops. So in the game you have to hunt. Is it Cyber Psychos? I can't remember the fucking name of it.
Cyber Psychosis
or something like that. So there'll be someone
the thing that you get when you go a bit mad.
Yeah, so it's kind of like bounties in the game where you'll get told in an area and they're all different. They've got different things. But how it showed like all the moves and like the things that come out of his legs. they're all things in the games and augments that you
cool,
can
cool,
have. So each bit was like, oh shit, I know that thing. Oh, I know that thing, and he just like makes
cool.
time slow down and goes around the people
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
hacks
saw
people.
that. Yeah, that
and
was quite cool.
it put across the game. I can totally understand why people were like, shit, I need to play the game again now. Like boot it back.
Yeah, it
up.
did look really cool. It made me want to play the game.
But all the aesthetics of all the city was identical. Like that's exactly what the game's like. In short, in long, Cyber Psycho at the start. I feel that's the wrong word. But anyway, gets killed or taken apart.
Yeah.
Did it? And his mum's there. Did his mum's
the paramedic?
Did she take that spine thing
Part
off
of me
that
feels
body?
like he died, and then she, because she's so desperate for the money, maybe took it off. But
the augmented spine thing,
and then she because the guy was dead, they were just like, right, we're just taking this guy to the morgue anyway. We're just going to get burnt or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe she just took it and then put it in a bag and then hid it, so another thing that confused me was, how did the mum not die initially in that car accident?
I thought she'd been shot because he's like slouching in his chair,
yeah. and then they were like, and then afterwards they were like, oh yeah, your mum's still alive or something. I was like, how the fuck is she still alive? She's been thrown from a car, shot a million times. And then afterwards when she was like, ah, and I'm like, she was still in control of the car. I was like, how are you not dead, love?
Why did you not put your brakes on the second those bullets started?
Yeah, why'd you have to stand there? Yeah,
like the end of Death Proof. Stop driving. Why are you driving?
And that was nothing to do with them. That was all just another.
It was another hit.
Situation.
It was a hit on a car that was on that side.
Right,
they were trying to kill someone because then it goes off and then they blow it up and then they crash into the back of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's one thing that I didn't really kind of like. I didn't get that. I was like, oh, they're putting the hit on her. No, it's just nothing to do with it. She's just a bystander.
They literally shot through her window.
Why would you do that?
But then it's horrible because she goes to jail because goes to hospital and it's like, your mum's really ill. You need to pay some money. Oh, now she's dead.
Surgery's going to work.
Oh yeah, surgery's going to work.
Give us the money. Oh, it didn't work.
And the kid goes home and finds some money in an account. So he goes, I can pay the medical bills. Oh, actually, she's dead. But there's not like, you can see her, it's like, here she is, she's in a fucking, not a coffin, cremated straight away. And it's constantly, you can pay with this. Yeah. Like, go on this health plan, payment plan for everything.
Yeah, and his wording was like, he kept saying it was like the body and stuff like that. It was very like dehumanizing. She was like,
you'd think there'd be him going, like closing her eyes or something.
Like, it's a wonder she didn't give out sooner or something like that.
Yeah, she's overworked.
But it was a lot more like computing terms, like talking about machines, and so it was kind of interesting his jargon that he used.
And his bully absolutely. So in the game,
oh my god!
Yeah, so
what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Yeah, so in the game, you have to fight. There's like in the game, I know there's like 10 or 15 people you have to beat up, and they'll just be like it's basically bare knuckle boxing.
Right, yeah.
And you have to sort of upgrade your guy, and you get this thing called, I can't know what it's called, like power arms or gorilla arms or something.
Right, okay.
And because if you try and punch him normally, they just kick the shit out. So anyway, he's got like gorilla arms, whatever it is, and he's going.
It's like taekwondo, he's like kung fu arms. Or something
but it's just an upgrade in the game. All those little bits, every little bit, and the little things in the neck.
And also, how is he not dead?
Yeah, it was brutal. That was like skull crushing.
There was so much like blood all over the floor as well.
Like, go to class now.
Later, he's like, in the 5 seconds later, he's like. He gets a call while he's on the floor from the doctor being like, oh, you need to come and see your mum.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was pretty bad. And then, it was obviously very predictable when the fact that he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and put this thing in my body.
I thought it'd be worth shitloads when he kept trying to sell it.
I think it was, but the guy was just a prick. But then again, the guy wouldn't have slept on it that much. But then he's got to make double again.
That's his mate. That's his, because there's a Ripper Doc in the game of the people who put the things inside you. That's his doc.
Okay, right, yeah, doc. Okay, cool. But he was obviously the seller as well. But like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, he put it inside someone else, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but like surely military grade. Maybe it wasn't worth anything because no one would want to touch it. No one would put it on them because then straight away you're going to get got by.
I feel like this is going to be one of those shows where the mum is involved in more things than it was letting on because she's got secret money. She's got in a really good school.
Giving like anti-establishment people things like she's been setting up the armies and
or maybe she gave the person that thing
that's
fine. Maybe she's taking it back.
She took it back.
Yeah. But obviously, he's in an amazing school.
She'd be a bit more like she'd be fucking. Oh yeah, he's in a really good school
that they can't afford.
They can't afford, so maybe
she can afford though because she's still wanting to pay for all the repairs on the things he broke. So she's sort of on her ass, but at the same time, I feel like there's some money somewhere.
She's secretly not
on her ass because it's fair that's the apartment again from the game, like with the window and everything. Yeah.
Should we move on to Vox Machina?
Mark,
I'm trying to say Vox Ex Machina.
So next we have his Vox. Yeah, I just put
the Legend of Vox Machina.
This wasn't for me, Mark.
This wasn't for me.
Who gives a soggy anus about the council?
This is the first I've watched so many shows on this show. Like literally, men like.
Is it because it's in English? Because we never watch English shows.
No, but we know sometimes we have to watch English dubs because we can't find. I've watched plenty of anime where I couldn't find the thing.
Oh, okay.
No, it just it's the first thing I say. Literally, we watched what's it? Shows where people are eating giant beasts and cooking them, or like women that are half horses trying to win the Kentucky. Do you know all these weird shows we watch? That I'm somehow like I can see me watching this.
Yeah.
Like, but this, I was like, I think it's for me. I'm an old man now. When I was like 14, 15, I'd be like, this is fucking edgy as shit. And it's
edgy
weird.
As shit. Do you know why?
I thought
they say the word fuck a lot.
Yeah, I thought Edgerunners was going to be edgy.
Trying to be
but actually, it didn't really push at any going like, oh, there's like there's people that like with like flashlights on and stuff in this while he's walking around. There's little things, but they're not like in your face.
Yeah,
no, but no,
I get what you mean by edgy, but you mean like it's like, oh, this is going to push the. Oh, this is not your normal cartoon, guys. It's not a cartoon. They say fuck a lot, and they've got some sex.
Edgerunners just had stuff, but it didn't ever like shine a light on it. It's like, well, stuff's happening in the background. That's whatever. But this is like, look at this. This is crazy. Oh, that's a boob. Like this is like that kind of thing.
I've put it's a little bit like let's say fuck a lot, and it makes it an adult animation. Whereas actually making it adult animation is just making it actually good and cool.
Good and just like...
Yeah. Like, you can make it dark in other ways. And yes, you can swear, but you don't have to make it every single thing. Like, every word was fuck. Like, in that first 5 minutes, it was like people went, now I'm hooked. I like the boys. And it's like, I like the boys. I like Invincible sort of thing. It was a bit like trying to get those people, those kind of kids sort of thing.
But the boys, it's one of those, because the boys is it rides that line where the boys could be a bit edgy.
I'm saying the boys animated TV show. Yeah, I've not, but it's like they just say fuck a lot, and it's like, and they just swear a lot, and it just doesn't really feel like it's for anything. It's like it's not funny saying it. It's just you know what I mean. And this felt the same. Anyway, let's go into the plot of it. I agree. This wasn't also. I thought this was going to be much better than it was, and a lot of people have said it's very good. So I'm like,
all the reviews are really good. Like,
I don't understand how all the reviews are really good.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Like
because
I thought. Do you know what I thought was going to happen at the start when all the like there's like a band of adventurers and you'll get absolutely
like the Fellowship.
Yeah, get
pretty
decimated.
Much Gandalf with glasses and everything.
They all die, and I thought it was going to cut to live action and people playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's because I knew it was sort of Dungeons and Dragons based, so I thought, oh, this will be quite funny. And even later on, I thought
a lot of the humour, like with the hand cutting off and the hand job chat in the bar, when it was a bit like, oh, this is very tongue in cheek sort of thing. It all felt like an actual Dungeons and Dragons sort of campaign in the way that it's not entertaining. It's not funny. This might be the sort of stuff that happens in a Dungeons and Dragons situation, but unless you're actually living it, it's as if like a load of Dungeons and Dragons players have all gotten together and gone, one time we had this guy and then we said this funny joke about him tossing us off, and then you all put it in there, but unless you're in it and actually living it, it's not fun. Anyway, right, so there's some dragon and basically, or some evil thing that's killing loads of adventurers, and then the city's like, well, we need to keep sending out adventurers. Also, at this point, I'd started watching this, and after watching Cyberpunk and the animation and the way that people moved and the way it was so much more lifelike.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh my God, but the way that all those people in the city were like, what about the thingy? It was like it was like watching Voltron in the 1980s. It was so like still.
How's your day going?
Yeah, it was like it wasn't that bad, but it was still like all the movements were so like rigid.
I know I think you've watched Invincible, haven't you? You only watched like half.
I've watched the first episode.
Yeah, but that to me it seemed very similar animation style. That was what I instantly thought of.
It's kind of like I watched Dragon Prince, and that's so much more. I don't know if you've seen Dragon Prince. No. It's like kind of. I think it's by the creators of Avatar and Korra, and all those animations, even though they are quite US. They were still like kind of like you're still getting into like a bit more motion, whereas these people are just so still. Anyway, right. So just coming from watching Cyberpunk, this was like, oh my God, this is so boring to watch. But I did enjoy certain parts of it, but I just couldn't get past the point when they were just trying to make it too funny.
The thing is, the problem is everyone looked at it. Do you know what I wanted? Here you go. This is what you should go and watch, which even though this is slightly X-rated, I was thinking the whole time, this reminds me of Interspecies Reviewers, where they're sat in that tavern, and I was like, I'd rather they're going off sleeping with really old ladies or much older elves that don't look as old, or like squishy weird monsters, or hyenas with penises, because that's what hyenas have.
Or even females?
No, they do.
What?
No, female hyenas have penises.
That's crazy.
Interspecies Reviewers, watch it. It's on the internet. That was much, because that's much more, even though there's loads of sex and swearing, it doesn't go, hey, look at this, I'm swearing. It's just part of the world where this was like, I don't know, it's like you want to look at the camera and go like, that was funny, wasn't it? Like, you're laughing at this bit, we'll give you a little break. Right, here's another one. Here's a boob.
Oh, you got another 5 minutes before the next
I really couldn't work out. And even up until the last bit, I thought maybe the credits will be, here's the people sat on the table. and it's all improvised. Because if anything, I think that would probably be more interesting.
What? Yeah,
if animated and improvised game.
Yeah, 150%.
But I kept thinking, oh shit, it's going to be some real people sat there, the actors, actually playing. But it was just like, I was like, I don't care. It was the biggest misstep. I can't think of another thing. Even that serial experiment Lane in the rain.
Let's go into the plot.
What's the plot?
The plot is they have to. I'm just going to have to continue with the plot because you broke the formula because you keep going about how much you hate it.
I'm just amazed.
So they go to the tavern. They have a chat in the tavern. There's
had a rough week.
people. They cut the people's hand off. They had a big fight. Then they go and then they accept the mission of killing the dragon or the creature.
Yeah.
And they go into this. They go and follow it, and they're like in this ship, in this airship.
Yeah,
and they get to the place. So suddenly an airship. Also, right, so they needed that little... There was too many of the people, either. Did you not feel like if they would have just done, like, more of that episodic, let's meet all the band of heroes, maybe a bit separately... Even though I hate that sometimes. And then,
they just add to the
party. I don't like it in, like, Cowboy Bebop, where it takes, like, 5 episodes to get the full cast in, where it's like, oh, let's do little bits and get all the growth. So I don't feel like it really needed that, but I really need that song, Joe.
Myself, my name is Scanlon, the man with the fat purple hand. My music's a jam.
That song just to understand them. No, but just to understand.
Oh, it was too late.
Who they were. Yeah, it was too late on the day. But I really need that song earlier on.
But it was a bad song. All the singing was bad.
Anyway, they're in the airship. They get to the creature. He's destroyed a town. He gives a boy a silver $1 because the magic's all in your fingers, mate. Trevor Beaumont, but not Trevor Beaumont.
Yeah, I was in Castlevania guy.
Yeah, he's very much. The thing is, like, is this like why I didn't enjoy Cyberpunk Edgerunners as much as the people who maybe played Cyberpunk Edgerunners? Is this like if I'd have understood all their roles?
But you didn't need to have played Cyberpunk to understand it. It was that could have been in the Stone Age. You understand that it's someone. Shit's happening. Some guy's having a bad life. His life's getting worse. He can't afford stuff.
Yeah, I've not played either of them, so it's a fair comparison for me to go. Like I've played Dungeons and Dragons,
but this one was too much. Just like it's that kind of like Tolkien-esque, just basic, normal. Yes. There was no new kind of characters. It was like because it was Dungeons and Dragons. It was just here's your major, or here's this and this. But there was nothing interesting about any of them.
That a lot of people would really like. Do you know what it made me really? Actually, I was quite looking forward to this. That stupid Dungeons and Dragons film that's coming out.
I've still watched any trailers. I know Chris Pine's in it.
Oh yeah,
that's all
Chris
I know.
Pine's in it.
I've heard about it on podcasts.
It looks quite funny. A part of me's like, I just want a rip-roaring adventure, but this ruined it for me. And part of me made me think, are they going to try and do the same thing?
No, I'm not going to say that. But basically, if you're over,
what were you about to say?
If you're over like 16 and you think this is amazing, because if you think stuff's amazing, fucking enjoy the stuff.
And also, if you enjoy this sort of thing,
it's just, it's the first thing that's really not worked for me. I'm confused how this has got like a whole series because it just seems to miss
2 series.
It's
coming. The second season come out and everyone's going, oh my god!
Yeah, enjoy what you want to enjoy. I don't want to mean like you can't enjoy it, but it just seems such. I think it's because. Like, if it was something really unique and you go, and even if it was a bit, say it was the same script, but it's all under the sea, like, I don't know, Sebastian Crab, and everything's under the sea based, and you love under the sea based Dungeons and Dragons, that's fine, because it's a really unique thing. Yeah. But there's a million things that are just like this.
See, I thought this was going to be a bit more. See, I said it's kind of like steampunk versus cyberpunk because I saw that guy with the weird little glasses, the guy that shoots the gun on the thingy, and I was like, it's like steampunk. It's like so it's a bit more in advance than Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. So I thought there would be something a bit more different and a bit more steampunky because it did have some weird steampunky elements, but then it had loads of elves that were like proper tree.
Yeah.
Anyway, they get on the airship. They find the dragon. The dragon's a thunder dragon. It's massive. And it's going to fucking destroy them, just like it destroyed the Fellowship of the Ring 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
It almost kills all of them, but they're all completely fine because somehow. And then it just fucks off because there's a hand sticking out the thing, and they're like, oh, but one hand means everyone's dead, right? Yeah, sure.
Flies off.
And then it flies off, and then it goes and just murks a fucking city or a town, and then they go back and they're like, oh, we could have saved them. When I think naturally they would have died anyway.
Also, they were trying to save them anyway.
Yeah,
they didn't
go
to the dragon. They didn't go. No, we're not going to.
There was a bit of a moment where they were like, "Oh, we need to keep fighting this dragon and go back and fight it." But like the dragon's flying. Like you were hiding, you were regrouping. What were you fucking expecting? Anyway, then they die. No, they don't die. Sorry, then they go to the thing in the
Dungeons and Dragons show that might not be called Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't like this. Whoa! What's happening? Whoa!
There's 2 shows actually. So one is Dungeons and Dragons where they all get on a roller coaster. You ever remember it? Like back in the day, the cartoon. They go on a roller coaster, and then it takes them to Dungeons and Dragons land, and they have adventures. I haven't seen that in possibly 20 years, or no, probably more than 20 years. I think that's going to be better. And also...
Okay, well, we now know. Joe's talking about the 2 next verses.
Yeah, and do you remember the one on ITV, which was where the person wore that helmet so they couldn't see?
Right, stop. Turn right. Walk forward.
And then it was called like the Dungeon Keeper. So there'd be 3 kids, and 2 of them would be sat with like the Dungeon Keeper looking over onto a screen, and it'd have the kid who'd have a helmet on and he couldn't see.
Yes, I'd step to your left.
So he was in a room and they'd project. So obviously he was just in like, I don't know, fucking...
Is it a game show? Or is this
kind of, and they'd have to lead him through...
so this just wasn't like a mini game in like Jungle Trouble or something?
No, this was like 1994 or 5 maybe.
How did you get to this?
What?
How did you
I can't remember. Other things
you're
that
talking
are
about the 2 better things.
It's just things
Well,
that
you think
straight
that's
away
better?
are more unique
You think
than
that
this.
we'd
There was
enjoy
nothing
watching
of...
that show that you just
Yeah.
about?
If on
Rather
this,
than
at the end, I say it'd gone live action, or even if it'd gone animated but humans in the real world, it would have given it some sort of edge of interesting newness. But this just had nothing apart from swearing. What was the unique selling point of this?
There was a bit of sex. I saw
a boob.
I saw some balls.
You saw some balls.
Yeah, I saw some balls. Sorry, yeah, no, yeah,
but
I saw some balls.
But I'm sure there's probably other shows with nudity. I'd say watch Interspecies Reviews. That's well better. All that it kind of ran that one was it the 7 Deadly Sins as well, where it's that and they have to go and fight the knights of something. I just think there's a lot of other things that are way better that aren't as edgy or a bit cringe,
aren't trying to be edgy
and just really missing the mark.
Yeah,
and they're obviously all professional voice actors. You'd imagine someone would go, "Is this right? Who's this for?"
Yeah,
I kind of feel like
the thing. Who's it for is my big question because it's sort of
It's like it's for kids who shouldn't be watching it because it's got swearing in, but they are watching it.
Ooh, yeah,
whereas
they've marketed it at that, even though they can't say the market.
Yeah, because it's obviously got to be more than like a 15. But I think then you're almost out of your audience. Do you know, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed because I didn't really know what was coming, but I just thought, it'll just be a bit of a nice Middle-earth sort of romp. And I was like, ooh, this is a bit.
I stopped Becky from watching this, and I went, no, don't watch that. We're going to do it on the Next Door Talks. Stop. I'll watch it with you next week. And I don't want to continue it, but she's really wanting to contine it, and I'm a bit like,
we'll make her watch this.
Yeah,
see
and
the
then
anger,
see my
the
real,
anger in this old man's face.
Yeah, you hate it. I agree with you and everything. And the story wasn't like, you know, I don't know any of the characters really anymore, aside from who's slightly nice and who doesn't care about things. I don't know anything more about.
There's too many to remember.
There were too many to remember. Far too many to remember. I just didn't really give a shit.
If Cyberpunk is a 2. Yeah. Then the other one is -7, or if Cyberpunk is 10 elephants, this is half of one of the elephant's legs. Okay. That's the scale. However I do it.
I think you really enjoyed Cyberpunk a lot more.
The difference, yeah.
Wow, okay.
But Cyberpunk to me was like just fine. It was nice. It was not blowing my mind. I'm not desperate to watch it again, but I struggled to find fault in it. It was just a bit predictable, but so is most shows we watch.
Yeah, I mean, you've got all of them. It's very similar. But yeah, no, I did enjoy Cyberpunk. I would put that as the winner because Vox Machina, I was like, come on, just end.
Do something.
Just end.
Do something or just end right now.
End.
I paused it twice to see how long was left.
I really. I ended up doing that a lot.
Yeah, so it's like 26 minutes. It wasn't even long.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
so on this episode of the thing we've just done versus the winner is clearly Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Here's that weird show with the helmet thing. It's actually really good. I feel like the guy
better than that.
Do you know in Biker Grove the guy who ran the place?
No.
You do, and he got blown up in the gas explosion. We've been through this.
That was probably in the 90s, early 90s.
And he had like the mutton chops. I feel like he's the guy presenting it as the dungeon master. Maybe he's not, maybe he is. Anyway, here he is. Goodbye.